How to shift realities or parallel universes to attract more of what you deeply desire: love, money, happiness, enjoyment, health, healing. It's all available. Hi, everyone. Robert Zink, miracle mentor and alchemy life coach. And today we are soaring high like a big, beautiful eagle, and we're flying in the direction of your dreams and your goals. So, high flyers, before we get started, I want to invite you to something that is spectacular. It's going to change your life. It's going to make 2021 the best year of your life. Master Manifesting 2021.com. That's Master Manifesting 2021.com. You can take all the struggles, all the transformation that you've gone through in 2020, and you can transform it into something spectacular in 2021 and make it one of the best years of your life. So, high flyers, many scientists now believe that we don't live in the universe, we live in a multiverse. Now, here's the interesting thing about it. I know in my own personal journey, there have been times I've been going down a particular direction in my life, and then all of a sudden it seemed like, bam, out of nowhere, everything changed, and boom, I was on a whole different track. I just talked to a client yesterday, and he said the same thing happened to him. He said his life was going this way, and all of a sudden, within a month or two, boom, he was in a relationship. His girlfriend was pregnant. He bought a house. I mean, everything shifted for him. So we talk about this whole notion of a global shift, but I think that an inner shift is really more possible and practical, and it's going to have more impact on your journey, on your life, and what your journey is all about. So go with me just for a moment. Let's assume that you could literally shift from one track to another almost instantly. How would that feel? What would that be like? I'm going to share with you what I believe are some practical ideas on how to shift realities. And see, here's the thing. You can't prove it one way or the other. If you've shifted reality, you're in a whole new timeline. So you can't tell anybody that you've shifted, because everybody that's a part of your reality is now in that new timeline as well. How many timelines are there? We don't know. There could be an infinite number of possibilities. But guess what? Through the law of attraction and the law of vibration, you have the power to choose the kind of parallel universe or parallel reality you want to live in. So the first thing I think that you ought to consider, high flyers, is visualizing other possibilities in your life. No matter how far-fetched they seem, no matter how ridiculous they seem. Look, several years ago, I was living in a broken hotel room. I had one of those throwaway phones that you buy at the supermarket that you add minutes to. That's what my life consisted of. Now I have more cameras than a camera store. I have microphones all over the place. I have a big, beautiful house. I have a gorgeous wife. I have a beautiful son. I have new cars. I mean, something happened. And what it was is I began to visualize the possibility that I could be living a different life, that I didn't have to live this life. I remember when I was dirt ass poor, and there was a girl, and we were drinking wine together, as was the custom when life is terrible. And we're sitting there drinking wine together, and she said, "Look at Robert, you've been struggling all your life. You're struggling right now. What makes you think it's going to be different? And I thought about that question, and it really gut punched me, high flyers. It really hurt because all of a sudden I had this feeling of hopelessness. But then I said, what if? Can you say what if? What if my life was called to be something else, to do something else, to be with someone else, to live a different life? What if? What are the possibilities? So I believe the more you visualize the possibilities of the life that you desire to live, the more you pull yourself to that alternate timeline or that parallel universe. So the next part of this formula kind of works with the first part, and that is getting serious with yourself and asking, what if? What if? What if I lived in a different house? What if I lived in a different city? What if I was in the relationship of my dreams? What if I lost 50 pounds? What if I could reverse aging? What if I was happier than I've ever been before? What if? So, by asking yourself that question over and over and over again, you start to put yourself in alignment with another timeline, another life, and boom, without even realizing it, at some point, the switch takes place and you're living the life of your dreams. So, high flyers, the third part of this formula is to ask yourself one question. This is an important question, so you might want to write this one down. Ask, how is my reality? How is my reality created by my vibration? Look around at your reality. Look around at what you have in your life and what you don't have and what you desire to have. And then ask yourself one question. Is my vibration, or does my vibration have anything to do with the world that I'm living in? And I believe it does. So if it does, and you can begin to reshape and reshift your vibration, you can literally drop yourself into an alternate reality where everything is moving in the direction of your dreams and your goals. So, high flyers, the next part of this whole process is to identify what your default vibe is. We have these vibes where we're really high and we have vibes where we're really low. But what is my default vibe? What is the vibe that I stay at most of the time? And if your default vibe is negative, or if it's cynical, or if it's doubtful, or if it's needy, or if it's any one of those, you can change that. But you have to understand what your default vibe is. So understand that first, kind of get in touch with it, be honest, say, this is my default vibe. And then you have the option of shifting. So now that you've identified your default vibe, the next step is to zero in on. Get really focused like this, zero in on your desired vibe. What is the vibe that I desire that is going to help me shift my reality, shift me into a parallel universe where I am living the life of my dreams? What vibe is required for that? What vibe do I need to take on? And stop. Please, please, please. Oh, please stop saying I'm trying. You're either going to shift to that vibe, you're going to make a commitment that your new vibe is going to become your new default vibe, or you're going to say, I'm trying. It's up to you. So now that you have this new vibe, you can visualize it, you can see the vibe that you're living at. anchor it with positive thoughts, with positive actions. Every time you think of that vibe, think of a positive thought that you can attach to it. So as these positive thoughts start rolling through your mind, they immediately shift you up to that new zeroed in vibe. You know, one of the things that one of my clients did is he would sit and meditate on that new vibe that he wanted, but he would put a little piece of Hershey's chocolate in his mouth and he would suck on that chocolate. And now, every time he wanted to hit that vibe instantly, he'd just take one little square of chocolate and put it in his mouth. You can do that with anything. It doesn't have to be chocolate, but I use this as an example. You know, there are various ways to anchor, and we should probably do a whole video or two on anchoring. But that's just one easy way. Another way is to associate positive pictures, whether you've lived them or not, with your new vibe. That will help you get to that vibe and stay there and turn it into your new default vibe. So now you get up in the morning, and what is the first thing you do? You activate your new vibe. You don't go right back to the old vibe. You activate your new vibration. I don't care if you get up in the morning and have to put a piece of chocolate in your mouth, sugar-free preferred. If you have to put a little piece of chocolate in your mouth, do it. Okay. If you have to spend a few minutes of visualizing, I anchored a new vibration. Boy, this brings back memories. I just remembered this. I anchored my new vibration. Oh man, this is just shaking me up. I can't believe that I remembered this, Rachel. I was in my hotel room and I had my phone, and I wanted to have a way to get into this new vibration every single day. So I sat down and I put in an alarm, and it was a song. I used a song as an anchor to get me to this new vibration. And it was I Feel Good by James Brown. I feel good. Yeah. You know the song, right? So every morning I'm laying there and I feel good. And I would get up and I'd kind of start dancing around a little bit, and I'd get that energy flowing, and it put me into a new vibration. Looking back, I never thought about this. I think that vibration, that shift in vibration, was a huge turning point in my life for attracting Rachel and eventually Julian into my life, and all the other good things that I'm so grateful for. Activate your new vibe daily. And then, of course, high flyers, it's important to take inspired action daily. So one of the things Rachel and I do every morning, sometimes in the evening, is we say, what are we going to do? What are our priorities today? We may do a lot of things, but what are our priorities? And usually they involve inspired action, taking some kind of action that makes our life better in some small way, makes other people's lives better in some small way. Inspired action every single day, every day. And finally, you need to challenge incongruent thoughts. When you have a thought that is counter to where you are going, what you are doing, what you are becoming, the parallel universe that you are skipping over to, the parallel reality. When you have an incongruent thought that is going in the opposite direction, you need to challenge that thought. You need to argue against it, and you need to replace it with a positive thought. Now, before I go, let me remind you again, mastermanifesting2021.com, December 21st, the winter solstice, a very mystical day. You're going to receive attunements that will change your life and make 2021 the best year of your life, possibly ever. Hey, here's some other videos to help you on your journey.